latest flare-up over Syria between Israel and Iran has seen leadership on both sides talking tough about its red lines. But as the sound of explosions rung out across the war-torn country once again, what are Syrians saying after this fresh round of fire?
For sure we don't care about them and their aggression, but we should not stay quiet, and we should respond so they don't repeat this aggression.
We are fed up with these insults happening every day. Yes, we are thwarting them, but this time we should have responded and teach them a lesson so they know we are powerful. They are not up for war. We were not scared last night, but I was happy to see how we responded. But we need deterrence. They attack us, we attack them back.
RT News is reporting that Damascus has threatened to exercise its legitimate right for self-defense against Israel's aggression and target the Tel Aviv airport in a mirror response, unless the Security Council puts an end to the IDF intrusions into Syrian airspace. The report goes on to read that apparently fed up with years of Israeli impunity in the Syrian skies and regular strikes carried out in the vicinity of Damascus International Airport, Syria has threatened to retaliate in explicit terms. Syria's permanent representative to the UN stated, "Isn't time now for the UN Security Council to stop the Israeli repeated aggressions on the Syrian Arab Republic territories? Or is it required to draw the attention of the war makers in this council by exercising our legitimate right to defend ourselves and respond to the Israeli aggression on Damascus International Civil Airport in the same way on Tel Aviv Airport?" Airstrikes against alleged Iranian targets in close proximity to Syria's busiest airport have become a norm for Israel's defense forces, whose former chief of staff openly confessed last month to running a large-scale bombing campaign in Syria for years, urging the UN Security Council to adopt measures to stop such blatant violations of Syrians' airspace by the Jewish state. Jafari accused France, Britain, and the United States, all permanent members of the world body, of endorsing Israeli aggression in breach of their responsibility to maintain international peace and security in accordance with international law. It goes on further to read that placing little faith into Western intentions to bring long-awaited peace to the country, the diplomat noted that Syria plans to restore full sovereignty over its lost territories, including the Golan Heights. Jafari stressed that the restoration sovereignty of the occupied Syrian Golan is a permanent right of Syria that is not subject to negotiations. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated in November that Israel will remain forever on the Golan Heights, and the Golan Heights will forever remain in our hands. Israel and the United States carried out a successful test of their advanced Arrow 3 missile defense system early Tuesday morning. Shortly before 6:45 p.m., a dummy missile was launched off the coast of Israel that was meant to simulate the type of long-range ballistic missile the Arrow 3 system is designed to intercept. The ministry stated that following the launch, the Arrow's radar spotted the targets on its radar array and transferred the data to its fire management center, which analyzed it and fully planned the interception. Once the planning was completed, an Arrow 3 interceptor was fired at the target, which completed its mission with complete success. It goes on further to report that touring an Israeli aerospace industry plant later on Tuesday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised Israel-U.S. security cooperation and boasted of Israel's defense powers, stating that we will continue to successfully develop the most advanced weapon systems in the world in order to ensure the security of the citizens of Israel and the State of Israel. Netanyahu also warned our enemies who seek to destroy us should know that Israel's clenched fist will reach all those who seek our ill, and we will settle accounts with them. Tuesday's trial came 2 days after Israel's air defense systems were put to the test in shooting down a missile fired from Syria at the Israeli Golan Heights. An Iron Dome battery intercepted the incoming projectile, which the Israeli military said was launched by Iranian forces in Syria, apparently in retaliation for the rare daytime strike attributed to Israel on weapons depots in and around Damascus. Meanwhile, Iran stated that they are ready for war with Israel that will lead to its destruction. The commander of the Iranian Air Force warned on Monday that Iran was prepared for a decisive war with Israel, which will bring an end to the IDF's attacks on Syria. He said, "Our armed forces are prepared for a war that will bring the crushing destruction of Israel. We are ready for the day when we will see the end of Israel. And in response, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel's airstrikes on Syria on Monday had mainly targeted military positions set up by Iran, which he warned would face consequences for threatening to destroy Israel, stating that we are operating both against Iran and against the Syrian forces that are abetting the Iranian aggression. We will strike at anyone who tried to harm us. Whoever threatens to eliminate us bears full responsibility. And the Jerusalem Post is reporting that China got into the action as well, urging Israel and Iran to avoid further escalation in Syria. China called on all sides to refrain from steps that could derail the situation in Syria, according to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, stating that finding a political solution to the Syrian crisis is at a key stage. We believe that all parties should refrain from measures that will increase the tension.
Yesterday, the Iranian regime launched a missile from Syria targeting civilians in Israel. We responded to this unacceptable act of aggression by striking Iranian targets in Syria. Israel will continue to block Iran's efforts to use Syria, Lebanon, and Gaza as forward bases for attacking Israel for the express purpose which they openly declare, destroying Israel. No country should stand aside while its destruction is being planned or advanced. And Israel exercises its basic right of self-defense and preemptive self-defense, a right that exists for every nation. We will continue to take all the necessary actions to protect our people and defend our borders, and will continue to respond with force to anyone that tries to harm us.